Hey Metal Maniacs, this is Ricky
And this is Marty.
from Schizophrenia, and you're thrashing it up on Dave Softees Metal Meltdown on Metal Messiah Radio.
Alrighty, Metal Maniacs, here we go. Please help me welcome to Metal Messiah Radio, hailing from Antwerp, Belgium, from Death Thrash Metalers Schizophrenia. Joining us, we have vocalist, bassist Ricky Mandozzi and guitarist Marty VK. Welcome, gentlemen. How are you doing out there? Thank you for this opportunity.
Hey Metal Maniacs, this is Ricky and Marty from Schizophrenia, and you're thrashing it up on Metal Messiah Radio.
There you go. All right. So please inform the listeners on who makes up the rest of Schizophrenia. Who cannot be here today?
So our drummer Lorenzo is giving drum lessons, and Romeo, the other guitarist, couldn't make it.
Okay, great. Well, it's great to get the two of you so we could talk about your band. I have been checking out your videos and your music thanks to a really good friend of ours, a real good supporter of my show, The Metal Meltdown, and I believe that you know of her as well, Alexa Messina from Italy. So great
Yeah,
to.
exactly. She got in touch with me. I actually didn't really know her.
Oh,
She got in touch with me after she saw our video clip, and apparently she's a fan of the band right now. So that's good to know.
yeah, she always spreads the word, and she always tags me when she comes across a tune or video that she knows I will love, and she did it again. And so, yeah, that's why we're here. I appreciate her and all that she does to support the underground metal scene as well. She's really great.
Yeah. I think she's one of those from back in the days. She's still keeping it up.
Oh, yeah. Thank goodness for that. And could you share with us some of the band's history? Like, when did the band actually form? I was looking on the Metal Archives, and I got confused with another Schizophrenia from Italy, which you're actually originally from, Ricky, right? You're from Italy?
Yeah, I'm Italian, but I moved to Belgium back in 2013
I see.
to study and with the intention of putting up a new band. And I started playing in a band that was already existing, together with Romeo, which is our the other guitarist of Schizophrenia. And then when that band split up, we decided to form a new band, and a bit more because we were playing in a thrash metal band, but we wanted to do something a bit more extreme out of it.
Yeah.
So we came up with the name Schizophrenia, and then that was I guess the end of 2016, 2017. And after that, we found Marty on guitars, which was a really good friend of us, and so we knew him. And then we found Lorenzo, which is our drummer, with the help of Max, guitarist of Evil Invaders, who had previously played with him in another band. So Max got us in touch. So that's how we put the band together. Then for a while we couldn't play live shows because of Lorenzo, our drummer, had health issues. He basically broke his eardrum, so he couldn't play for quite a long time.
Wow, that sucks.
Yeah, that was really bad. But yeah, because we couldn't play live shows, but we really wanted to. We decided to wait for him to recover and get better, because we knew he was already an amazing drummer, so we knew he was the best we could get, and I'm sure we did the right choice. Meanwhile, like we took this time to write music, so we've been writing a lot of music all together, been recording stuff at home, and then we put together the songs that are gonna be on Voices.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this opportunity to talk to you about this, because I think Structures of Death was the video that Alexa had tagged me in, and when I checked it out, it was blown away. And then I see you have this EP, 5-song EP coming out very soon. So it's really good that we get to do this interview to talk about this offering. And you also, if I understand, you'll be working on a full debut offering as well, right?
Yeah, that's true. We're currently working on new songs that we had. Also, like, we're using also some material that didn't make it to the EP. So there's quite a lot of stuff we're working on right now, and it's gonna be very extreme. And I mean, Voice is just the start, like it's the start from which we're gonna develop our next album.
Yeah,
So,
I ordered the EP yesterday on your website, and I can't wait to get it, because I really am enjoying this, and I want to learn more about this particular offering. Could you tell us how your music and how your lyrics and how you get your songs all together? Could you tell us about that process?
yeah, well, normally Romeo comes up. Well, when we wrote the EP, Romeo was one of the main writers of for the music. For the lyrics, we sat down all together actually, and we wrote the lyrics all together.
Oh,
But it is having two guitarists that are really different from each other. Like Romeo is a shredder, while Marty is more like you can say a virtuoso guitarist.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Virtuoso.
That makes it a very good combo. And so with the help of Marty can say something about it. The writing process he did.
Well, yeah. Well, as Ricky said, on voices, most of the times it was Romeo that came up with like a rough idea for how we wanted to do the song, and then like we sat together and we recorded some stuff on his computer, and I just did a lot of composing because he always came up with like rough idea and cool riffs and stuff, and then I just like we made it into a song together, and sometimes I would add stuff like my riffs or solos. But I feel like the stuff we're working on now is more like we do it more as full band. Like the writing, it's more together now.
It's great that you have this camaraderie, that you're doing it all together instead of like one person being the leader and everyone following the lead. It sounds like you have a nice tight fit with each other, that you're doing a really good job.
Absolutely, yeah. We sit down all together when somebody has ideas, and then we share our opinions about it. We try different things, and then we make arrangements. So that's how we work. And then for the lyrics, as I said, like for voices, we sat down all together and we put together all our ideas and everything. And but it's not always like that. Sometimes like somebody comes up with the full lyrics, and then if the rest of the band likes it, then we keep it.
Yeah, absolutely. I understand that. And let's learn about Voices. Where was this recorded? Who produced this? And where was it mixed, mastered? And what studio was this recorded in?
So it was recorded at Project Zero Studio here in Belgium. It's in a town called Nelen. It's very close to Antwerp. And it was recorded and produced by Antwerp and Jarne Helen. They're both playing in death metal band Carnation. I don't know if you've heard of them.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, and so after the great job they did with Carnation Record, we decided to work with them. They've been producing quite a lot of albums recently, and we're really extremely satisfied of the job they did on our record.
I've heard of the offering. I've only heard a couple of videos on your YouTube. I was blown away by the performance of the band and the sound of the band. So I expect this to be really an outstanding release. EP, LP, whatever you want to call it. The 5 songs, I can't wait to have it in my hands. I'm really looking forward to this. And this was self-released, or are you signed to a label? How did it work out for you?
Yeah, well, the EP is going to be self-released for like CDs and vinyls. And we're releasing cassettes with Dying Victims Productions from Germany.
Yeah, I noticed on your site you're offering a variety of different color vinyls. That's pretty interesting as well.
Yeah, we have it in black, red, and neon yellow, transparent.
Yeah, that's interesting. Very nice.
Plus, we have some shirts. We have logo shirts, or we have some black and white shirts with an artwork. And then we'll have some long sleeves with our logo and the artwork of the EP on it.
Speaking of which, the artwork I find very intriguing as well. Very interesting imagery, and like I said, I really like the way your logo pops. Could you tell us more about who designed the CD art and the band's logo?
Sure. Marty, you wanna go for it?
Yeah, so we first contacted Roberto Todorico. He's an Italian artist. I think he worked with Asphyx as well.
He worked with Asphyx. I think he did Sodom as well.
Yeah,
right. Pestilence.
So yeah, we just like gave him our ideas, and then he started working on it. He also designed the logo, but we made some modifications to the logo, and we contacted Mario Lopez to do that.
I heard that name many times. Yeah, a lot of people use Mario Lopez. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Great. You did a great job. The visual appearance of Schizophrenia is outstanding as the music is.
Thanks. Yeah, well, the idea of the concept of the artwork was to represent somebody being tormented by so-called voices, by
like his demons,
his inner demons, you know. So that's the main concept.
Yeah, hence the name schizophrenia, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And I also have noticed on your Facebook that you are, thank goodness, a live performing band. Would you please share with us some of your highlights of your past performances, ones that stand out in your mind as maybe some of your finest, most fun experiences out there? And if you have any shows coming up that we could spread the word on, we'd love to hear that as well.
Sure. So definitely our comeback as a live band when like the first show with our drummer, we played Antwerp Metal Fest, which is a festival that happens every year here in Antwerp. We played it was summer of 2018.
Yeah.
And we opened for Pestilence, Testament, and I Am Morbid. So that was definitely like great experience because we got to meet like some of the bands that shaped our our music, and those are the bands we've been listening to, you know, since we started listening to metal music, you know. So like that was a very amazing experience. It was great.
Yeah, those bands can be rather influential. Good bands to be influenced by, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Like Pestilence and Morbid Angel, they're definitely some of the main influences of Schizophrenia, as well as Demolition Hammer and early Sepultura, of course. That's how we got the name from.
I just heard their latest single, Isolation. It kicks ass. Brand new stuff. Sepultura.
It's from Sepultura.
Yeah, good stuff.
I haven't checked it out yet.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And so what shows you have coming up that you'd like to spread the word on? Or would you like to talk more about your past performances?
No, well, I don't know, Marty, if you enjoyed a show particularly.
Well, yeah, Antwerp Metal Fest was definitely great. It was my first show of like that size. I've never played a show that big. Also, I was very surprised by how many people there actually showed up, because we played quite early. I think we were the second band on the first day of the festival, and I remember like not really, you know, trying to see like how many people there are before the show. So we just got up on stage with our backs turned to the audience, and then when the drum kicked in, like we all turned around, and then I was really surprised by how many people already showed up, like because it was early afternoon. So
yeah, that was like we had a very good response from the crowd that day.
That's great to hear. Yeah, how many people do you think were there on when you started performing?
100 people.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I mean it was very early and under burning sun.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
Like I didn't expect it so many people, but yeah, that was really cool. Also, like beginning of 2019 actually, we played another small festival very close to Antwerp called Inhale Fest. That was a very underground show.
Yeah.
We played together with some other bands like Vulture. Maybe you heard of them.
I've heard of them. Not really too familiar with them, but the name does ring a bell.
Yeah, or Indian Nightmare, also a German band, heavy metal band, and we had a great response from the crowd on that show too. It's really a fun show, you know, very underground on a small stage, you know, but sweaty as fuck.
Oh yeah. I think yesterday you were telling me you're friends with Joe from Evil Invaders. Have you had the chance to do any shows with them?
Oh well, yeah. We played a show with Evil Invaders.
Pretty recently.
Yeah, in November. We opened for them when they released their live album.
Very cool.
Like 3 months ago.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And let's talk about videos. I was looking for music to hear because I didn't have anything in MP3 format yet. And so I went to Schizophrenia Band on the YouTube channel, and I noticed a couple of really cool videos. The one that Alexa turned me on to, which was Structure of Death, and then I saw Perpetual Perdition, which is an official playthrough video, but both videos really caught my attention. So I'd like to learn more about the makings of these videos, and if you plan on making any more videos for this EP. But I also did subscribe to your channel because I see it's a young channel, and I'm going to watch this grow. And I'm going to be here supporting you for future interviews as well. When you have new music out there, I want you to come back on the show. We could always do fresh interviews with every release you have.
We'll definitely do that. We really appreciate it. And but for the moment, we're not planning on releasing new videos. Not at the moment. Maybe I mean, I'm sure we're gonna do something for the new album. But at the moment, we wanted to put out some of the most powerful songs that are on the EP. But even though, like, I honestly don't think there are.
Yeah, there aren't any slower or weaker songs on there. Like,
yeah, I was hoping you'd say that. Yeah. So you're off to a really good start with the videos, considering you have a 5-song EP, and you already have 2 videos out there, and they look very professionally done. So kudos to you. Yeah.
We filmed them here in Antwerp, in a studio. So it's they're both like in 4K. You can find them in 4K on YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's a good quality videos.
And who was responsible for making these videos and editing these videos? Do you know somebody that could do this at a reasonable cost to you? Or you have a friend in the business, or did this cost you a fortune?
Well, no. We did it in a studio called Lonely Alien. It's here in Antwerp, and we recorded both videos at their studio, and they also edited the video of Perpetual Perdition, the playthrough video. But for the editing of the Structure of Death video, we did it with Jens from Panda Production. He worked already for Evil Invaders, Carnation, and a bunch of other bands, and he did the editing, and he took some extra shots of me.
Also, you did a really good job with this. Congratulations on that. And you touched upon the subject before. I want to explore more of it now, because one of the most important parts of these interviews, especially in the underground with bands that are trying to make a living in this world of metal in the underground, is very difficult. And the best way that we could do this is by informing the fans on merch. And we started talking about your website, and I want to give the websites. That is schizophreniaband.bigcartel.com, and also they could very easily go to your Facebook, that's schizophrenia.officialband, and just click on the shop link, and it'll take them right to the Big Cartel page. Because you have, when I saw this, I was very, very shocked and very happy to see this. You do offer a nice amount of merch. We talked about the vinyl, the EP, the CD, the shirts. You have a lot to offer there. So you're off to a really good start with that as well. That page took you a long time to set up. I'd like to know more about that, and if you plan on adding more merch, because you do have a nice variety of merch there already.
Well, I think for the moment we're just gonna keep it like this, because we invested quite a lot of money actually in like production of vinyls and CDs and t-shirts. So I think now we have a good variety of items that you can buy
absolutely
on our web store. And for the moment is I think it's enough. But
yeah, really good stuff.
Add some more like in the future.
Yeah, I'm sure. Now I want to ask about the vinyl. You have the assorted colored vinyl, and are there limitations to the supply of those? I would imagine there would be. The amounts of vinyl, the colored vinyl that you're offering?
Yeah. We do have. I think
we ordered 200 black ones, 100 red ones, and 100 yellow ones.
Yeah.
But I haven't been keeping track on how many we sold. So
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, normally we should have like 100 yellow, 100 red, and 200 black.
I see. So you have enough and then if you sell out of those, you'll maybe make more, you think? Or
Yeah, for sure.
That's good. That's good news.
People want more, we'll give them more.
Excellent. Let's hope you sell out of it. That's all we can hope for, right?
Yeah, I have to say that people have been pre-ordering our merch and records in quite high numbers in the last couple of weeks. So
pleasant surprise.
Yeah, and we're really grateful to those fans.
You know, it's almost like supply and demand. For me, I was looking for music of yours, and I was like, I really want music of yours. I can't find it anywhere. So I had to order it yesterday, and I mean, I need it. I want it. I want it now. But yeah, when it's not out there, you hear it, you see the video. How do I get my hands on this? Well, you got to order it. That's how you do it. I mean, eventually, once it's released there, I'm sure you'll find it everywhere. But until that point, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I think after the release, so after like 31st of January, the video the full EP will be probably available on YouTube and also on Spotify, all digital platforms.
Yeah, I'm sure, and I'm sure the blog sites will catch it too, like they always do, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a really good information here so far, and I really appreciate you guys' time in doing this. And I'd like to know what you guys do for your livelihood outside of the band. What do you do for your living besides the band?
Well, I actually recently started studying at the university here in Antwerp. I study conservation and restoration, but I just started my first year.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
And me, I'm manager of a restaurant.
Oh yeah, what kind of restaurant?
It's a fish and chips restaurant.
There you go.
Yeah, and but the others, Romeo works in
like the warehouse of AED.
Yeah, it's a big company that supplies like gear for shows. Basically, it's like they provide lights and all like screens or all the things, all the necessary to put on a show. Like from a small show to some of the biggest in the world, you know. And our drummer Lorenzo, he studies at a university in Brussels, and when he's not studying or playing, he's a drum teacher.
Interesting. So everybody in the band is healthy now. There's no more. The drummer had a problem. You said earlier in the interview. He's all good now, right?
Yeah, it's all good now.
Very good, very good. And you were just mentioning the word gear popped up, and I want to talk about gear now. If you'd like to talk about your gear, we'd love to hear it. If you want to talk about your basses and your guitars, and even if you want to talk about the drums, even though that's not your thing, if you want to talk about that, we're willing to hear it.
All right. Well, Marty, you start with your guitars.
Yeah, like I have two guitars that I use for the band. It's one Charvel Desolation Star. That's my main live guitar. And I also always bring my backup guitar, which is just a black Jackson Dinky. And for like my amp is I recently bought a new one. It's a PV 6505.
6505.
Yeah. And just a Marshall cabinet, so pretty basic stuff.
Yeah, for me, I play Jackson Kelly and a Bisserich Ironbird from early 2000s, I think. It's a red one. Absolutely amazing bass. I use a Bugatti amp, which is basically a copy of an Ampeg, and I use a fridge cabinet, a huge one from Hartke, and that's all I use. For Romeo plays Jackson. He's got a soloist from the 90s, and he's got a US-made Randy Rhoads Jackson, and he also plays on 6505 from BV and Marshall cabinet.
But he also bought the EVH.
He's also just bought like a EVH amp 5150. So I don't know if he's gonna use both. And for our drummer, I don't know much about it actually.
I didn't think it.
I just know that he recently bought this Tama drum kit. I think it's a Bubinga. I just know that it's a very, very expensive drum kit. That's all we know.
Well, I appreciate your time in explaining what you can, and we definitely appreciate that. Also, I want to thank both of you for spending time with us tonight on Metal Meltdown on Metal Messiah Radio. I do believe we learned a lot more about the band than we knew before doing the interview, and so I appreciate that. Before we go, I want to make sure that we brought everyone up to speed, meaning if there's anything that you'd like to bring out that we have yet to discuss, please feel free to mention anything that you would like to talk about.
I don't know. I think
I'm
good.
Just maybe just keep following the band page because we have a lot of exciting news coming up. We can't reveal them right now because it's not time yet, but there's some very exciting news coming up, and we're gonna be playing a bunch of shows, and I hope that our fans are gonna be happy about it.
I'm sure they will be. And speaking of your fans, is there anything that you would like to say to them, to all the Schizophrenia fans out there that are tuning in? Anything that the both of you, anything that you'd like to say to them out there?
I just want to be thankful for the support and for buying our merch and records already, like before the release, and like just barely knowing the band, and I find that really really nice of them. I'm really thankful for that. I really appreciate it. It gives us like a lot of motivation, to keep doing what we're doing, and we're very excited of what's coming up. We're willing to do anything. So
yeah, that is excellent. And it's excellent of the metal maniacs around the world supporting the underground metal, even when they don't know much about the band. They hear the music like I heard the music, and they want it just as much as I do. So that's a really great thing.
You don't see that in other scenes like that often, like metal fans are very loyal most of the times. So.
This is true, and there's new music coming out all the time, and when there's something that strikes them, like your video struck me, it leads you to want more, and that's my experience, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels that way. From what you're telling me, a lot of your fans have felt the same way, so this is really great.
That's great.
Well, I want you to know that you'll always have my continued support, and I'll be keeping my eyes on you. And if you need anything, like if you have a new video or tour dates, or you have word about your upcoming releases, please hit me up so I could spread the word, and know that you can count on coming back on Metal Meltdown, like I said, for every new release that you have. So you'll have the support here at Metal Messiah Radio on the Metal Meltdown, and I want to thank you again for this interview. I really had a great time talking with you, learning about you, and like I said, I look forward to the future of Schizophrenia and covering you as much as I can, and I wish you the best of 2020, and I wish you the best of success, and keep doing what you do. I like to say that. Keep doing what you do, and we'll be back here talking about it.
Thank you very much, Dave. We really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. How about we go crank up some more Schizophrenia now and crank it up really loud? Let's do it.